So can everybody hear me good? Okay. All righty. So let's start in the middle of our mat. Just inhaling up, exhaling into chair. Don't forget to hit your little starter. Inhaling up and exhale into chair. Again, lift. Lifting that chin off the chest and then looking down at the knees. Lifting up and exhaling down. Coming up and down. Couple more just like that. All right, we're gonna go into a forward fold. Come all the way to the floor. Come up to a tabletop. Release back down, reverse swan dive up, and come into that chair. All the way down to that forward fold. Lengthen through the legs, tabletop. Release down, reverse swan dive. And again, we're gonna come down into that forward fold. Come up, nice flat back, shoulders down the spine. Bend the knees, fingertips to the floor. Reverse swan dive. Circle sweep the arms into chair. Beautiful. When you come up into that tabletop, kind of lift the chin off the chest, back down to the floor. Circle sweep those arms up and into chair. Lead with that heart center down to the floor. Tabletop. Release down. Reverse swan dive and chair. We'll do two more just like that before we add on. All right, last one up and down. Come on up, release down. Come all the way up into chair. Excellent, so we're gonna inhale, lift a leg, send it back, bring it back in, come into chair. Inhale, lift, exhale, forward fold. Come up, tabletop, release down. You're gonna come up, we're gonna lift that leg, send it back, high lunge, bring it forward, circle sweep into chair. Inhale, lift, forward fold, come up, tabletop, release to the floor. When you come up, lift that right leg up, send it back, bring it in, circle sweep into chair. Coming up, forward fold, tabletop, release down. When you come up, lift that left leg up, send it back, bring it back to the front, circle sweep into chair. Excellent. Again, over to that right side, forward fold, tabletop, lower down. When you come up, lift that right leg, hold the arms up, send that right leg back, bring it back next to that other foot, circle sweep the arms into chair. Over to that other side, inhale, lift, exhale, forward fold. Tabletop, release down, come up, lift that left leg up, send it back, bring it in, circle sweep those arms into chair. Two more each side, just like that. Lifting the chin off the chest, diving down, tabletop, release down, lift that right leg, find that balance, send it back, reaching into that heel, step it forward, circle sweep into chair. Inhale, lift, swan dive forward, come up, tabletop, back down, lift that left leg up, send it back, toe ball heel, bring it in, circle sweep those arms into chair. One more time each side. Tabletop, and down, lift that right leg, arms stay up, send that leg back, toe ball heel, bring it forward next to the other foot, and circle sweep around. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Tabletop. Release down. Lift that left leg. Hands stay in the air. Toe ball heel. Stepping in into chair. Bring those hands heart center. Walk the feet. And you take a couple breaths. Last two. Last one. Inhale up. Exhale down. Grab a quick drink. And then we'll move on, adding on. Gotta put it up here so I don't accidentally knock it over. All right. So before we add on the next little part, we're going to just do a few little hip things. So we're gonna step out to the side, circle around, turn that leg into a warrior two base, and then come back so it's on this side. So you're gonna kind of circle around the hip, turn the leg out, bring it back and around. Circle around into that warrior two leg, back and around. Circle around, warrior two, bring it back and around. So think of drawing circles one way with your hip, land in that warrior two, drawing it back, just with it out to the side. Around, rotate, bring it back. Around and rotate, bring it back. Woohoo! Getting into some of those hamstring attachments. Two more. Around and warrior two. Back around just till that leg is abducted. Warrior two. And back to that abducted. Excellent. Bring it in. Inhale the arms up. Exhale down. Roll those shoulders back a couple of times. Excellent. Hands on the hips. Take that leg out. Circle it around. Land in that warrior two. Bring it back. And it's abducted. Circle around, warrior two, back and around, up on the ball of the foot, lower and rotate, come back, lower that heel. Woo! We'll be ready for hula lessons before you know it. Have to plan that Hawaii trip. Circle around, bend, circle back, center, around, bend, you got it. Last two. Last one here. Excellent, coming back. Step it in. Inhale up, exhale into chair. Release the hands to the knees. We want to warm up the core a little bit. So I'm going to have you exhale and inhale. Exhale, so a little bit of our standing cat and cow. When you exhale, lift that pelvic floor. Think of pulling that belly button to the spine. Last four, three, two more. Drop that chin. Last one, excellent. Inhale, lift that right leg. Send it back, toe bow heel. You're gonna lift out of that heel, open to that warrior two. Take that back hand, circle it up, back into that high lunge. Step it in, chair. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Come up, tabletop. We forgot the table on the other side. Release, lift that left leg. Send it back, toe ball heel. So you're in that warrior one. Lift out of that heel, open warrior two. Circle that back arm all the way around into that high lunge. Step that foot in into chair. Again, inhale, over to that right side. Exhale. Tabletop, release down, right leg up, Send it back, toe ball heel. Come out of the heel, over into that warrior two. Circle that arm all the way up. High lunge, step it in. Chair, over to that left side. Forward fold, come on up. Release down, left leg up. Send it back, toe ball heel. Lift out of that heel. Rotate that foot into that warrior two. Circle that arm back up. High lunge. Step it in into chair. All the way over to that right side. Inhale up. Forward fold. Tabletop. Fingertips to the floor. Right leg up. Woo. Send it back. Toe ball heel. Lift. Open warrior two. Circle that arm all the way around. High lunge. Step it in into chair. Other side. Inhale up. Forward fold. Tabletop. Release down. Lift that left leg. Send it back into that warrior one. Lift. Open into warrior two. Circle sweep up. High lunge. Step it in. Circle the arms around into chair. One more time each side before we add on. Forward fold. Tabletop. Release down. Right leg up. Woo. Send it back. Warrior one. Open up warrior two. Circle sweep up. High lunge. Step it in to chair. Excellent. Inhale up. Forward. Tabletop. Release down. Lift that left leg up. Send it back. Warrior one. Lift. Open warrior two. Circle sweep up. Step it up. Woo. Inhale up. Bring the hands heart center. Grab a drink. So we're going to add a revolving warrior two. So once we hit our warrior two, when we're open, we'll bring it in and rotate first. All right. So same setup. This time we'll remember the tabletop. Here we go, right side first. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Come up, tabletop. Release down, right leg comes up. Send it back, warrior one. Lift, open warrior two. We're gonna bring the arms into heart center, pivot, open into that revolving warrior two. Circle that arm back up. We're in that high lunge, step it in into chair. Other side, inhale, lift, forward fold. Tabletop, release, left leg comes up, lift, send it back, warrior one, lift, open warrior two. You're gonna kind of lift out of that leg because you've got to bring that arm past heart center, open into warrior two as you rotate. Back arm comes up, so we're still in that high lunge on that back leg. Step it in, chair, you got this. Inhale, lift, forward fold, tabletop, release down, bring that right leg up, warrior one, come up, pivot, warrior two, bring the hands heart center as you come back to the front, pivot all the way through, open to the other side, bring that back arm up, there we go, step it in, and into chair. Inhale, lift, forward fold, tabletop, and down, left leg comes up, send it back, warrior one, come up, warrior two, bring the hands heart center as you come back to the front, open it up, circle that arm up, high lunge, step it up, chair, right leg, inhale, lift, forward fold, tabletop, release down, right leg comes up, send it back, lift, warrior two, hands come heart center as you come back and all the way through, open up, Circle that back arm up. High lunge. Step it forward into chair. Inhale, lift. Forward fold. Tabletop. Release down. Bring that left leg up. Send it back. Come on up. Open warrior two. Bring the hands heart center. Pivot on that ball of the foot all the way around. Open up. Bring that back arm up. And circle sweep. Step it up. Chair. Beautiful. You got this. Back to that first side. Come on up. Release down. Lift that right leg up. Send it back. Lift. Open up. Bring the hands heart center. Rotate all the way over. Open. Bring that back arm up and around. Woo! Step that leg in. Chair. Inhale, lift. Forward fold. Come up, tabletop. Release down. Left leg lifts up. Send it back. Lift up. Open. Bring the hands heart center. Core comes along for the ride. Pivot on that back foot. Open up. Circle that back arm around into that high lunge. Step it in. And chair. One more time each side. So where are we at on? Yes, there's more. Forward fold. Come up, tabletop. Release down. Come up, lifting that right leg. Send it back. Lift out of that heel. Warrior two. Bring the hands heart center, coming around. Open up. Circle that back arm up. Step it up into chair. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Come up, tabletop. Back down, lifting that left leg. Up we go. Send it back. Lift. And open. Hands come heart center. Bring that whole body around, pivoting all the way through the hips and the waistline. Arm up and around. Woo. Step it in and up. Excellent. Release hands heart center. Grab a drink. Woohoo! Great job, everybody. All right, so when we end up in that high lunge, we will lift off into our warrior three and then come into chair. Sounds great, right? Start with that right side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Come up, tabletop. Release down. Right leg lifts up. Send it back. Warrior one. Lift up. Open warrior two. Bring those hands heart center. Rotate all the way through the middle and open. Circle sweep up. So here we are in this high lunge. We're going to circle the arms by the hips. Come out of that back leg. Woo! Into our warrior three. Bend the knee, put it down. Land in chair. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold over to that left side. Tabletop. Release down, bringing that left leg up. Send it back. Lift it up. Warrior two, bring the hands heart center. Everything rotates. Open it up. Circle it up. The arms come back by the hips. We're going to come out of that back leg. Warrior three. Bend the knee. Release it to the floor. Landing in that chair. Inhale, lift. Woo, I ended up coming forward. Forward fold. Tabletop. Back down. Right leg up. Send it back. Lift up. Open warrior two. Hands come heart center. Bring everything around, pivoting through the hips, the foot, and the waist. Open the arms out. Circle that back arm up. All the way past the hips. Load that front leg. Lift that back leg in. Bring that knee in, release to the floor, lower the hips. Inhale, lift. Forward fold. Tabletop, over to that left side. Back down, lift that left leg up, little balance. And back. We got our 1 and 2. A little bit of a twisted 2. Open up. Circle that arm around. And then all the way back past the hips. Out of that back leg. Knee bends. Release down into chair. 2 more each side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Tabletop. Release down, right leg up. Send it back. Lift. And open. Hands come heart center. Everything rotates around. Open up. Arm comes up. And then all the way back past the hips. Come out of that back leg. Lift. Bend that knee. Lower the hips. Land in chair. Over to that left side. Come on up. Release back down, lifting through that left leg. Sending it back, warrior 1. Lift up, warrior 2. Bring those hands heart center. Rotate everything around, pivoting on that foot. Open up. Back arm comes up and around. High lunge, circle sweep, warrior 3. Release that leg in and down. 1 more time each side. Forward fold. Come on up. Right leg comes up with you on this next one. Come on up. Send it back. Lift and open. Bring those hands heart center. Pivot all the way over. Open up. Circle that back arm around. All the way past the hips. Come out of that leg. Bend the knee, put it on the floor. Land in that chair. Last one. Moving to that left side. Forward fold. Come up, tabletop. Release down. All the way up. Lifting that right leg. Sending it back. Coming out. Lowering back down. Hands come heart center. Pivot around. All the way through the hips, through the waist. Open up. Back arm comes up. Circle those arms around. Come out of that back leg. Bend that knee, release to the floor. Into chair. Woo! Grab a drink. Woohoo! So we're going to do that whole thing again, but we're actually going to hold those poses instead of flowing through them this time. All right. Big inhale, lift. So we're gonna hold here. We are kind of in just a little bit of a volcano. Make sure you're not arching in your low back. You're lifting up and then coming back. So we're really working on opening up those abdominal muscles. Chin is gently lifted. Check in, make sure you're lifting through your arches so that inner thighs are active. Big inhale. As you exhale, come over into that forward fold. Make sure you're not hanging in your joints. You're internally supported. Once again, those arches are lifted, legs are active, shoulders are back and down. Bring those hands on the shins, come up into tabletop. So in our tabletop, I really want you to think of lengthening through your head and neck, like your tailbone and your head are being pulled away from one another. Exhale, release to the floor. When you inhale, lift that right leg up. We're gonna hold. Yay! Hands are up. Arch is lifted. Check in, make sure your hips aren't hiked up. You want them nice and level. Now before we go into that warrior one, bring the hands heart center. I just want you to do a few figure eights here. Bring it like up and around. Woo. Getting shaky. Excellent. Coming back to center, send it back. Toe ball heel. Release those hands from heart center, holding it here. Check in. Make sure your hips are level. Arches are lifted. Make sure you've got only your first and second toe are hugging by the knees there. Shoulders are back and down. You're gonna feel a nice stretch in that back leg, all the way down the Achilles. Take nice deep cleansing breaths. Bring your awareness into your ankle and your knees. We're gonna come up, really engage those feet, rotate open into that warrior two. Remember in our warrior two, same rules apply. We don't want the hips dumping, lifting through the arches. The knees are kind of gliding out towards the pinky toes. Shoulders are back and down. Look over that front hand for me. Two more breaths here. Legs stay put, bring the hands heart center. We're gonna hold here, elbows are high, so you're pushing your hands together while you're pulling your shoulder blades back and down. So you've got a little dynamic tension in those hands. Start that rotation. I'm actually gonna rotate my legs the other way so I can face you as well. So as you rotate, you're gonna come out of that back foot, pivot around. Notice how I moved my front foot just a little bit so my knees contract over it so it's not too much torsion on that knee. When you're ready, you can open up, palms up, look over that hand. Take that back hand, circle sweep up, pivot back into that high lunge. I'm gonna face you again. So you're on that ball of that back foot, shoulders are back and down, hips are nice and level. Circle sweep those arms around. Yes, we're going into that warrior three. Lift up and hold. Two more breaths here. Slowly start bending the knee, lowering down in that leg, holding here in chair. Bring the hands heart center. Knees are apart, arches are still lifted, pelvic floor is lifted. Two more breaths. And inhale up. We're just gonna open up into mountain pose. So gently turn the hands out, shoulders are back and down. So we're gonna work our way up through our bandhas. So lifting through those arches, again, kind of out on the edge of the feet. Inner thighs are engaged, belly is in and up. Shoulders are back and down. Gently pull your chin back and activate your palms. So think of pushing your head against the back of your seat in your car. So a few breaths here. Adjust your body as necessary. Take note of any changes that have happened since you began your practice. All right, next big breath in, lift those arms up. Again, we're gonna start in that volcano. So again, you're lifting up and then back. Do not dump into your back. So you actually want your tummy a little bit engaged here as you're gently leaning back. Exhale, bend the knees, release the arms, coming down into that forward fold. Swan diving down. So I'm going to challenge you in this forward fold, instead of having your fingertips down, if it's comfortable, fold your arms and just let the weight of your arms gently stretch. your hamstrings. Notice I have my knees bent, so I'm not pushing back into them. All right, we're gonna come up into tabletop, hands on the shins. Once again, we're gonna lengthen through the spine. I'm gonna offer you a challenge here, so you can stay here, or you can bring the hands back into airplane. When you bring them back, really think of loading into your heels so you can actually lift your toes up off the floor if I asked you to. Lengthening through the spine as well. Two more breaths here. Excellent. Exhale, release down on your next inhale. Lift that left leg up, holding here. Really think of having that knee in front of that hip and the ankle right below it. Soft bend in the knee, check in. Don't let that hip height, much like mine was doing. Lifting through the arch in that standing leg. Slowly bring those arms down. Start those figure eights with the leg. Two more. Last one. Coming back to center. We're going to drive it back. Toe ball heel. Lift the arms up. Warrior one. Check in. If you need to widen your stance so those hips are level, please feel free to do that. Check in. Knee tracking over your last three toes. Shoulders in their joints. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open into that warrior two. Make sure the knees are tracking over those pinky toes so you feel a nice opening. Hips are level. I'm coming to face you again. So hips are level. Shoulders back and down. Gently rotate those hands up. Soft bend in the elbow. Imagine you're holding something. Look over that front hand. Slowly bring those hands in. You're going to start that rotation. Again, I'm going to rotate so I can face you. Coming all the way around. Remember, we're coming out of that foot. We're on the ball of that foot. Coming into that rotation. Soft bend in the knees to support you. Open those hands. Palms up. Look over that front hand. Circle sweep that back arm up. All the way up into that high lunge. So we're on the ball of that foot. Change too quickly. Hips are level. Make sure you're not dumping into that hip. You're actually pulling it in and up, almost like you're trying to pull your knee forward. Circle sweep around. Bring those arms up. Lift into that warrior three. Slowly bend that knee, release it to the floor, hands heart center into chair. Again, those arches are lifted, knees are apart, shoulders back and down, pelvic floor is lifted, belly in and up. Shoulders back and down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Holding here in that mountain pose. Once again, we're going to lift through the arches. Bringing that energy up the inner thighs. Lift the pelvic floor, belly button in and up. Chest back and down. Shoulders back and down. Gently pulling that head and neck back. Palms are active. Take note of any additional changes that may have happened in this last little series. And exhale, release those hands, grab a drink. Great job. Woo! Hope you're getting some moisture on you. All right. You come to the mat, straddling your mat, toes are turned out. We're gonna come down into kind of a little sumo. We're actually gonna tip our hips side to side. Couple more each side. Excellent. Turn that right foot out. Adjust that left foot so they're perpendicular. We are going to come into that warrior two. Arms are out, shoulders back and down, nice and stacked. Same thing, moving those hips left to right. Check in, have that knee gently pressing out. You want to feel a little bit of a stretch when you push your hip back. You want to feel a little stretch there. So think of pushing your knee that way when your hip comes this way. So you've got a little bit of a stretch in that hip. Soft micro bend in that back knee, palms are up. Last two. Last one, excellent. Find that center. We're gonna come into a reverse warrior. So this time in our reverse warrior, I want you to kind of grab your leg and actually kind of pull up. So think of pulling up on that back leg so you're also lifting up here. Holding here. Again, take notice of anything that's going on in the front of that hip. Two more breaths. Excellent. We're going to cartwheel all the way over. We're going to pivot facing that leg. So adjust that back foot if you need to. We're going to come into that pyramid leg. So we're going to start on the top of the thigh. So have your knees slightly bent and gently like pushing against the leg to lengthen through the spine. With each breath, we're going to kind of come down a little bit more, allowing for a little bit more of a stretch in those hamstring attachments. Again, with each exhale, allowing yourself to slide down while keeping your spine long. Try not to collapse into that space just yet. So almost use that leg to lengthen through the spine. When those fingertips can touch the floor, shift your hips left to right. Just notice any stretch that you may feel on the inside of the back of the thigh or on the outside of the back of the thigh. Excellent. We're going to bend that knee, adjust that back leg. We're going to stay in that runner's lunge for just a moment. So once again, we're internally supported, so pulling your belly up off of your leg. Your ribs might be touching, and that's fine. Release that knee to the floor. Top of the foot comes down. Hand on that knee again. Think of lengthening through the spine and then pushing away in our kneeling crescent. So have everything engaged here and then lift the arms up, allowing yourself to lunge just a little deeper into that pose. If that causes any torsion on your knee, feel free to turn it in. So find where your knee wants to be back there with you, lunging forward. Exhaling down, framing that foot, tucking that toe back into that runner's lunge. Hands come on the floor. Yes, you get to do it, down dog. Gently holding here, shoulders come down your back, soft bend in the knees. You need to walk your feet up a little bit more. Find what works for you in this moment. On your next exhale, bend your knees, lifting your chin and chest. Do not let those knees touch the floor. You are in beast. Loading into those legs. Hips come towards the heels. Release those knees to the floor. Release the top of the feet. Round out. On your exhale, push back into that extended child's pose. Excellent. We're going to inhale all the way up into a plank, staying on our knees. Shoulders are back and down. You're welcome to stay here or do any variation of plank. So you can be up on both toes. You can be up on one foot. You can have one knee down, have one foot up. Find what works for you. The higher your bottom, the less your abs are working, but make sure you're not dropping either. On your next exhale, pull your belly button in and up. Bring that other leg up, walk just a little bit, and then step that hand through. We're gonna come all the way up, lifting up, coming back to our center. This time our hands are gonna be here as we shift our hips left and right. But let's grab a drink first. Great job. Feet are about the width of your mat, turned out, and that W arms. We're gonna come down, once again, shifting left to right, and just notice if they feel a little looser than before. So this time, before we move into our warrior two over on that left side, I'm gonna have you do some figure eights. Get up and around, up and around. Adjust your feet as you need to. Two more. And last one, excellent. Just those feet come out into that warrior two. Feet are perpendicular to one another. Bend that knee, lift through the arches, knee tracking over the toes, soft bend in the back knee. Level the hips, shoulders over those hips, palms up, shoulders back and down. Gently pull that back shoulder back a little farther than you might think it needs to go. Start to add that left to right. Woo. Two more. Excellent. We're going to pivot over to this side. Just those feet, gently hinging forward. Hand on that bent knee to start. Lengthening through the spine as you start to hinge forward. Working towards that pyramid. Belly button in and up to support that back. With each exhale, we're working our way down our leg. Again, we're using that leg to kind of lengthen through the spine as well. Fingertips to the floor. Slowly shift those hips left to right again. Excellent. Weight in that front knee. We're going to step that leg back, coming into our runner's lunge, internally supported. Only the ribs are touching the floor or touching your thigh. Shoulders are back and down. Release those hands to the floor. Release that knee to the floor, foot to the floor. Walk your hands up onto that thigh, gently pushing away from the leg. lengthening through the spine and then gently pushing back away from the knee. Again, if you need to adjust that back leg, feel free to do that. When you're ready, you can come on up into that kneeling crescent. You were here before. Couldn't look you in the eye. Just like an angel. Slowly bring those arms down. We're going to frame that foot. Engage that back toe. We're going to step that leg back, pushing back into that down dog. Coming all the way forward. We're going to keep those knees up, holding in that plank. Release the knees to the floor. Roll the shoulder blades back and down, coming down into our crocodile, all the way down to the floor, pushing up and away into our cobra. Exhale, release down. We're going to come up into Sphinx. Bring those arms out. Forearms are on the floor, elbows right beneath the shoulder blades, shoulders back and down. So you're really working right in that thoracic area, right between those shoulder blades. Really squeeze them back and down. From here, I want you to kind of engage your knees so you have to pull your belly up just a little. Release all the way back down, all the way out. Reach those arms out, lift the legs. Engaging those glutes. I'm going to take the arms back, lift the chest a little bit. Palms are facing the floor. Now locust. Release, bring those hands by the head, pushing up to the knees. Exhale all the way back into that child's pose. On your next exhale, thread your right arm under your left. Allow the back of the arm to rest on the floor. Lift that other arm up above the head, having that bicep right on your cheek. Next inhale, bring the hand by the head, pressing up. Change hands. Thread that other side through, releasing that head and neck to the floor. Hand up, bicep on your cheek. Bring the hand back by the face, coming up. Put that hand on the floor. We're going to take the opposite hand out, reach the other leg out. We're in a spinal balance, shoulders back and down, soft bend in that elbow. Release down, change sides. Extend it out. Check in, make sure your hips not too high, not too low. Imagine you're balancing a beam across your hips. Release down, engage those toes. You're gonna press back into that beast. Lift your hiney in the air, pressing back into that down dog. You need to shorten your stance a little before we come up into that lunge position. Gently roll up, pull that foot forward. Excellent, and then the other one. Reverse swan dive up. Excellent to chair. Excellent. Did we get everything? I know I added stuff. I want to make sure we didn't forget anything. All right, grab a drink and then we'll have a seat on the floor. My, how time flies when you get a little sweat on. All right, let's get our astronaut in and then we'll Shavasana. So we've got our belly button coming in and up. So we're gonna lengthen through the spine, hinge back, pull that belly button, lift the arms. Two more breaths here. Grab the back of the thighs, inhale, lift. Exhale, come back. You're gonna lift that left leg, walk it up, holding here for just a moment. Shoulders back and down, soft bend in the elbows, lengthening through the spine. Flex that foot, reach for the outside blade or the ankle. Open up, reach for that floor, and pull that shoulder blade back and down. Give yourself just a little bit of rotation. Two more breaths here. Excellent. Release back to the center. Release that foot down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hinge. Pull that belly button in and up. This time we are going to balance with our feet up. You can choose to hold onto your legs or not. Two more breaths. Exhale, release down. Inhale, lift. Hinge back. Lift that right foot up. Toes pointed. Hold on to that leg, shoulders back and down. Lengthen through the spine. You're gonna flex that foot. You have that option to reach for the outside blade or across the ankle. Rotate fingertips to the floor, shoulder back and down. Give yourself that nice little rotation. As you inhale, come all the way back to center. Release that foot to the floor. Inhale, come on up. Last one in the center. Exhale back. Come on up. Lengthen those legs. Again, you can hold onto the legs or the calves or not at all. Really push through those toes. You're pointing right now. Two more breaths. Bend the knees, grab the back of the thighs. Inhale, lift. Woohoo! Exhale, release down. We're gonna roll all the way down, releasing the body all the way to the floor. So before you totally relax into that Shavasana, you need a couple of those ankle pumps to kind of help stimulate and then relax that nervous system. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax down. Walk those shoulder blades underneath the body. And just allow yourself to sink into your mat. With each exhale, imagine yourself being enveloped by your mat, really sinking in there. On your next exhale, gently walk your feet up and then bring your knees up one at a time into your chest, rolling side to side, massaging that low back. And when you're ready, let those legs fall to the left side of the body, turning your head and neck away from your knees. If it's comfortable on your shoulder, feel free to reach that arm up and over. On your next exhale, that arm is extended, bring it back, using those elbows to anchor into the floor. Exhale as you come center, come back to those knees with the hands, rolling side to side. On your next exhale, let those legs fall to the right side of the body, hands on the rib cage. Gently turn the head and neck away from the knees. Once again, if that shoulder feels good, go ahead and reach that hand up. On your next exhale, bring that arm to the ribs if it's above the head, and then gently rotate onto the right side of the body, supporting the head and neck with the arm either folded back or extended out, keeping the head and neck in alignment. On your next exhale, using that left hand, gently push yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Bringing one leg in front of the other, gently rotating around. And change legs, change directions. And come center, bring the bottom of the feet together. Anchor those hands, gently lift up, stretch through the chest. And then release, roll those shoulders back and around, press to the front, round out through the spine. Coming up again, going back and down, pressing out to the side. And up and around, pressing to the back. Bring the hands up, breathing in one for the mind, exhaling to the side. Breathing in one for the body, exhaling to the other side. And breathing in one for the spirit. Bringing the hands heart center, namaste. Great work today, everybody. Hopefully I will see you again soon. Have a great weekend if I don't see you tomorrow.
Thank you, TJ.
You are very welcome.
Thanks, TJ.